Hey, I'm Caleb from Caleb's Aviation. Welcome back to Aviation News. There's a lot to cover today, so let's get right to it. First item up today, there's been an accident by an Airbus H-130 helicopter in Michigan. As you can see in this footage here, the helicopter comes in to land and touches down, and pretty soon the helicopter goes to take off again. However, on the way up, the rotor blade strikes a pile of dirt nearby and the helicopter tips over and crashes to the ground. Luckily, no one was injured severely or killed on the ground in this accident, in what could have been a much worse accident. Also, if you're interested in seeing a flight on an Airbus H-130, check out my video linked above. Moving right along, there's been a collision of a Boeing 787 and an Airbus A321 in Vietnam earlier this week. As you can see here, the 787's wing goes right through the rudder on the Airbus A321, through the tail, and Vietnam Airlines is currently under investigation because of this accident. Talking collisions, there's also been a 737 collision in Russia. A 737 was taxiing by a parked 737, which was a little too close, and the winglet struck the tail on the parked 737. In fact, it had so much force, it left the winglet stuck in the elevator. This is also under investigation. Moving along, a KLM A330 diverted mid-flight due to an expiring maintenance certificate. KLM Flight 691 took off from Amsterdam bound for Toronto in an Airbus A330, but over the coast of Ireland, the pilots realized the aircraft's maintenance would expire. Papa Hotel Alpha Kilo Alpha, the A330-303, turned back and landed safely in Amsterdam. Just to clarify, the aircraft was not in a dangerous state of maintenance, it's just that its certificate for inspection would expire mid-flight. To avoid that, they turned around. Also in the headlines, Egyptair have scrapped their very first Airbus A320. In an earlier video, I discussed in some more detail why Egyptair have chosen to retire their Airbus A320. But now the aircraft has been officially stripped of paint, and the very first Airbus A320 in the world has been scrapped and stripped for parts. A sad end for a plane that's only 6 years old. Also in the headlines, TeenPilot Ethan Guo has been arrested for landing in Antarctica illegally. Ethan changed his flight plan mid-flight after leaving Chile without informing air traffic control or filing proper paperwork, among many other violations. Landing in Antarctica without permission is punishable by life in prison, and this is bad. Ethan is flying his set around the world to raise money for cancer research, which is a noble cause. But unfortunately, noble causes don't excuse you from following the rules. This next section of the video will be all about orders placed or finalized during the 2025 Paris Airshow. There is unfortunately a lot of these to cover, so bear with me. First up, Mexicana has ordered 20 Embraer E2 aircraft. The E2 is the latest flagship from Embraer, and Mexicana, the low-cost carrier, is taking on 20 of the Embraer E195 E2 aircraft, just like this. The first aircraft was already spotted in the factory a couple of weeks ago in São José dos Campos, Brazil. Keeping on topic with Embraer, Scandinavian Airlines have also ordered 45 Embraer E195 E2 aircraft. The E2 will be a nice replacement for SAS, who already flies the existing Embraer 190s in their fleet. A major blow was also dealt to Embraer, with LOT Polish Airlines ordering the Airbus A320. LOT is already one of the largest operators of the E-jets and the largest in Europe, flying more than 50. They also already have E195 E2 aircraft, which they received. They have now ordered 40 Airbus A220s worth €2.9 billion. The A220 makes a lot of sense given it's a European-made aircraft, but for Embraer, it's a major blow. It also wonders what will happen to LOT's existing fleet of E195 E2 aircraft. Perhaps another airline will buy them. Japanese airline ANA have also finalized a major order for Airbus jets at the Paris Airshow, taking 20 A320neo family aircraft, which you can see here. They've also ordered 15 Embraer 195 E2 aircraft, with 5 options. SkyWest have also ordered 60 Embraer 175s, with 50 options. This is the legacy Embraer 175, not the E2 variant, flying for many American carriers such as American Airlines, American Eagle, United Express, Alaska Connection, and Delta Connection, as SkyWest operates these flights for the larger airlines. Riyadh Air have ordered 25 Airbus A350-1000s, which will be their flagship. Also, Aviation have ordered 30 A320neo and 10 A350 freighters. A major loser at the show was Comac, with not a single order to the Chinese aircraft manufacturer. Their fleet of C919 and upcoming C929 aircraft, they expected to get a lot of orders. However, not a single customer bought one, which is a major blow for the company, who already fly some aircraft, but only within China right now. Now moving on from the Paris Airshow updates, an all-new airline is set to launch in Nigeria this week, taking flight with their fleet of Embraer 170 aircraft, and we'll see how that goes, as airlines in Nigeria have not been very successful. There was also an incident by an American Airlines A321 that had to turn back to San Juan en route to Dallas due to a threatening text message. This message was conveyed as a bomb threat, and the aircraft landed back on San Juan safely. This incident is under investigation, as is a JetBlue A320, which overran the runway en route to head out of Orlando, Florida. The aircraft slid off the end of the runway, and this incident is also currently under investigation. Alaska Airlines have also confirmed an order to take on 5 Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner aircraft, with their intention being to fly to Europe next summer, which we discussed in a previous video. Also in the headlines this week, a Ryanair 737 was forced to have passengers evacuate the aircraft after a fire while on the ground at Palma de Mallorca. The exact source of the fire is unknown, and this incident is under investigation. Luckily, no one was hurt. Also in the headlines, a fistfight aboard a Frontier Airlines aircraft in Miami. This altercation between 2 male passengers required one be rushed to the hospital due to injuries, and another was detained by the police. This accident is also currently under investigation. I also know it's not really my place to say, but fistfights and injuries to passengers and crew aboard aircraft has to stop. Also, to finish off on a happier and funny note, there was an incident earlier this week at a Spirit Airlines hangar in Detroit where firefighting foam soaked the entire hangar. An electrical storm passing over Detroit accidentally shorted out something in the hangar, which caused firefighting foam to be dumped all over the hangar and everyone and everything inside it. This is a safety feature to keep fires from spreading through a maintenance hangar. However, this incident was a little funny, and in the end, no one was injured and no aircraft were damaged. I just thought I'd leave on a happier note. Well, that's all the updates I have for you in this installment of Aviation News. I hope you've enjoyed. If so, give it a like, comment, and consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll be wishing you blue skies and tailwinds.